Article 314.17c of the 2005 National Electrical Code, or NEC, addresses the specific situation of mounting electrical equipment such as a 4-inch square switch box directly onto concrete, masonry, or other moisture-absorbent surfaces. The core principle behind this regulation is to prevent moisture from creating a conductive path between the electrical equipment and the ground, which could lead to electrical hazards. Concrete and masonry are porous materials that can absorb and retain moisture. When an electrical box is in direct contact with these materials, any moisture present can create a path for current to flow, increasing the risk of electrical shock or equipment failure. The code mandates that electrical equipment installed in contact with concrete, masonry, or similar materials must be mounted on a non-combustible surface. This requirement aims to create a barrier between the electrical equipment and the moisture-retaining surface, minimizing the risk of conductivity. To comply with Article 314.17c, one effective method is to install a non-combustible spacer between the electrical box and the concrete wall. This spacer creates an air gap that helps to prevent moisture transmission and electrical conductivity. Acceptable materials for the spacer include plywood, plastic, or any other non-combustible material. The size of the spacer is important to ensure adequate protection. It should be large enough to provide a minimum of 1/4 inch of air space between the box and the wall. This air gap serves as an insulator, preventing moisture from bridging the gap and creating a conductive path. In addition to using a spacer, sealing any openings around the electrical box with a non-combustible sealant is crucial. This sealant prevents moisture from entering the box, further reducing the risk of electrical hazards. The sealant should be applied to all gaps and cracks around the box to create a watertight seal. The NEC provides specific guidelines for working with electrical installations in damp or wet locations, and understanding these requirements is essential for ensuring safety and compliance. Firstly, ensure that all electrical boxes and fittings used in damp or wet locations are specifically listed for such use. These boxes are designed to withstand moisture and prevent water from entering and damaging the electrical components. Secondly, use appropriate wiring methods that are suitable for damp or wet locations. This includes using cables with moisture-resistant insulation and fittings that are designed to prevent water from entering the wiring system. Thirdly, consider the use of ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in areas where moisture is present. GFCIs are designed to detect ground faults and quickly disconnect power, reducing the risk of electrical shock. When installing electrical equipment in a basement, it's important to consider the potential for moisture and humidity. Basements are often prone to dampness, and this can create a challenging environment for electrical installations. To address these concerns, implement several strategies. Firstly, ensure that the basement is properly ventilated to reduce humidity levels. This can be achieved through the use of fans, dehumidifiers, or by improving the overall ventilation system. Secondly, consider using moisture-resistant materials for all electrical installations in the basement. This includes using moisture-resistant wiring, boxes, and fittings. Thirdly, regularly inspect the basement for any signs of moisture or leaks, and address these issues promptly to prevent electrical hazards. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety in all installations, but it is particularly important in damp or wet locations. A properly grounded electrical system provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, allowing the circuit breaker to trip and disconnect power. To ensure proper grounding, firstly, use a grounding electrode system that complies with the NEC requirements. This typically involves connecting a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe, to the electrical system. Secondly, ensure that all metal electrical boxes and equipment are properly grounded. This can be achieved by connecting a grounding conductor from the box to the grounding electrode system. Thirdly, regularly inspect the grounding system to ensure that it is intact and functioning properly. When selecting materials for electrical installations in damp or wet locations, it's important to choose products that are specifically designed for such use. This includes selecting electrical boxes, fittings, and wiring that are made from moisture-resistant materials. Consider the use of non-metallic boxes and fittings, as these materials are less susceptible to corrosion and moisture damage. Use wiring with moisture-resistant insulation, such as Type UF cable, which is specifically designed for underground and wet locations. When working with electrical installations in damp or wet locations, always follow safe work practices. Firstly, always disconnect power to the circuit before working on any electrical equipment. Secondly, wear appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as rubber gloves and safety glasses. Thirdly, use tools that are insulated and designed for electrical work. Fourthly, never work in standing water or damp conditions, as this can increase the risk of electrical shock. In summary, when mounting electrical boxes on concrete walls, adhering to NEC Article 314.17c is crucial for safety and compliance. Utilizing a non-combustible spacer to create an air gap and sealing openings with a non-combustible sealant are effective methods to prevent moisture-related electrical hazards. Additionally, implementing best practices for electrical installations in damp or wet locations, such as using appropriate materials, ensuring proper grounding, and following safe work practices, can further enhance safety and minimize risks. Remember that electrical codes and regulations can vary, so it's always best to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector to ensure compliance with local requirements.